Well lads, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. And Jesus Christ, his last performance against Michael Chandler was something else. If you don't know, if you're tuned into the UFC at all, you'd know by now that Paddy the Baddy was scheduled to fight Michael Chandler at UFC 314 the other week, and I mean, he absolutely destroyed him. It wasn't even close, and I did think Paddy would win this fight, but not in that fashion at all. I thought it would be a good back and forth fight. I thought Michael Chandler would maybe catch him at some point in the first or second round, but it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. I mean, Paddy made Michael look shit, and I know Michael Chandler isn't exactly the most high level fighter around, but he's still a solid top level fighter, and for Paddy to make him look that bad in this fight, it's nothing less than impressive. And I mean, he looked a lot better in this fight. This is his best performance today, without a doubt. His striking has improved, his wrestling has improved. This is his best performance in the UFC, in my opinion. You can make the argument with the Bobby Green fight because that was an amazing performance as well, but Michael Chandler is a much better fighter than Bobby Green, realistically. So I'm definitely putting this one at his best performance in the UFC because this was just insane. Like, I did not expect this type of dominance from Paddy at all. And it's crazy. A few years ago, he got the controversial decision against Jared Gordon, which I thought he should have lost. After that fight, I thought, alright, he has a little hype train going. He's a good fighter, but he won't make it to the top 15 at the UFC. Here he is now, ranked number 8 in the world, which is insane. But I mean, he's just he's shown that he can improve immensely, and he has done so after the last few years. And I have nothing but respect for him. But I mean, it's just crazy to me to make Michael Chandler look so helpless in that fight. And usually you see with top level jiu-jitsu fighters in the UFC, their wrestling, it's not usually really there. I mean, if you look at Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, well, to be fair, Charles Oliveira, he's actually improved a lot in his last fight as well against Michael Chandler. And it's definitely a big step up for their game because to have great jiu-jitsu is one thing, but to mix in wrestling with it as well, effective wrestling at that, I mean, that's a whole nother level, and Paddy is clearly improving his game, including the striking as well. I mean, overall, he just seems like a much better fighter. And I also didn't realize how big he was for the lightweight division. I mean, Jesus Christ, he looked way bigger than Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler is a big lightweight. He's a buff little fucking meatball of a young fella. Well, a young fella, he's fucking 38 years old. And Paddy, he looked massive. He looked like a fucking middleweight compared to him. It was insane. I just didn't expect that at all. But yeah, I mean, what's next for Michael Chandler? I don't really know, to be honest. He's on what, 4 or 5 losing streak now. So not doing the best. His last win was against Tony Ferguson, which was a great win, but against an out of prime Tony Ferguson, I don't really know what to do with him now. I'm thinking maybe. See, I feel like Beneil Dariush and Renato Moicano should fight. Maybe he could fight the winner or loser of that fight, and maybe also the winner of Benoit Saint Denis and Joel Alvarez is another option. I'd like to see that actually. It'd be good to see him get another win, but it's just he hasn't been looking good recently. I feel like his chances against Beneil and Renato Moicano are pretty decent. And I feel like he should win against Benoit Saint Denis. Joel Alvarez is on a mad come up, so it's hard to tell with him. But I mean, he's definitely not a top 5 level fighter anymore. He's definitely like in the top 15 around. We need to test his level against the guys down there and see how he gets on. I don't think he has too many fights left in his UFC career before he retires, to be honest. But enough of Michael Chandler. We'll talk about what's next for Paddy Pimblett. Now, somehow, a few years ago, if you told me this, I'd be like, you're fucking lying. But Paddy the Baddy is ranked number 8 in the world now, and he's most likely going to get a top 5 contender next. And I mean, if you look at the top 5 of the lightweight division, it's like the best top 5 in the UFC right now. It's just absolutely stacked with the most high level fighters in the UFC. And if we look at the top 5, we have Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, and Arman Saryukian. And I mean, looking at all these are all entertaining matchups for Paddy. Like, these are all great fights for him. Do I think he'll win most of them? No, but I can't say that with confidence because he's improved over the last few fights, so he could easily improve again and end up reaching the top and getting a possible title shot. Because I feel like with him being such a big name in the UFC, I feel like he's one win away from a title shot. So he definitely needs to play his cards right here. And I never would have thought he'd be fighting any one of these guys. I never thought this would be in the conversation, but here he is now. Fair play to him. And before we get further into it, we already know Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway are booked for a fight. So he won't be fighting one of those fellas. They'll also be fighting on my birthday, which is class because they're two of my favorite fighters in the UFC. And for them to be fighting on my birthday, happy fucking days. But yeah, Poirier said he wouldn't fight him anyway because for his retirement fight he wants to fight legends such as Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, which is fair enough, I think. Paddy wouldn't really be a great retirement fight for Dustin Poirier. I wouldn't really be too interested in that fight for his retirement fight anyway. So we have three left, but there is also another contender that I think would be a really entertaining and winnable fight for Paddy, and that's Dan Hangman Hooker. He was ranked number 6, so he's ranked above Paddy, and I just feel like that would be such a good fight, entertainment wise, but it's also probably the most winnable fight for Paddy. Do I think he'll win? I'm not too sure. I'll have to think about it more, and I can break that down more if it gets officially announced. But it's definitely the most easiest fight in the top 6 of the division for Paddy, I think, style wise. But it's no easy fight. Like, no fight with Dan Hooker is an easy fight. He's just one of the toughest fighters in UFC history. But honestly, I think that'd be a really entertaining fight between two really entertaining fighters. So I'd love to see that matchup personally. And Charles Oliveira is also a very entertaining fight. I know Paddy mentioned his name, and I'd love to see that fight. But there's rumors going around that Charles might be fighting for a title because one of Ilya's team members actually said that it's confirmed that Ilya will be fighting for a title or a vacant title in his next fight, which I thought was pretty weird because if he's fighting for a title, cool, it's Islam Makhachev. But the fact he said a vacant title, possibly, that could also mean because Islam Makhachev has been talking about moving up to 170 for a while now. So, and I feel like he's cleared out most of the division right now, so it's fair enough if he does move up to 170. And if he does that, there's a vacant belt on the line, which Ilya will be fighting for if that's the case. And there's rumoured that Charles Oliveira will be fighting for that. Also, Tsarukyan is also a possible matchup for the vacant belt. But I know Charles Oliveira and Ilya Topuria have been going a bit back and forth on social media, and I'd love to see that fight. I mean, Charles Oliveira and Ilya Topuria is an amazing fight, but we can talk about that in a different video anyway. But look, it's nothing confirmed yet, so I'll leave Charles in there. I think it's a very entertaining fight for Paddy. I don't think he'll beat Charles Oliveira. I think that might be his hardest matchup. Him or Arman Tsarukyan would be his hardest matchup. So I don't think that'd be a great move for Paddy, but it'd be a very entertaining fight nonetheless, and I'd love to see it. Arman Tsarukyan is another very hard fight for Paddy with Arman's wrestling, and I mean on the feet Arman's very dangerous too. But I feel like on the feet Paddy does stand a chance, but if it goes to the ground, it's hard to say. Arman has very good grappling and very high level wrestling, and it's hard to see Paddy out grapple him in any way. But I mean, we did see he's very big for the division. You never know what could happen. It's a fight I have to think about a bit more. Now, Justin Gaethje is a hard fight for any man on the planet, but I do think it's another winnable fight for Paddy. As of now, I would lean towards Justin Gaethje winning that fight, but I wouldn't put it past Paddy at all. It's a fight I'd have to think about a bit more and see how everything plays out. But it would be a very entertaining fight. I don't think the UFC will give him Justin Gaethje. I know Justin Gaethje is another possible title contender. And Dana was talking about giving him a title shot, which I don't think makes a lot of sense. But anyways, I personally think they should reschedule that fight with Justin Gaethje and Dan Hooker because that would have been a banger of a fight. I think they need to reschedule that ASAP because I'd love to see that fight. So, out of all these, I do think Dan Hooker would be the best fight stylistically and entertainment wise for Paddy Pimblett. But me personally, I do really want to see them reschedule Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. So besides those two, I feel like Charles Oliveira is the best fight to make. I mean, I love Paddy, I love Charles. That's a fight I wouldn't put money on it now because I don't really want to see either of them lose, but it would be a very entertaining fight to watch, and I'd love to watch that fight. So personally, I think that's my favorite fight out of these fighters to make. But who knows what they're gonna do with Paddy? We'll just see how it plays out. Ilia Topuria is also another option, but he's already scheduled to. Apparently, it's confirmed that he's fighting for a title next, and Paddy ain't a champion, so looks like that's what's going down. But overall, my two favorite matchups for Paddy is Dan Hooker and Charles Oliveira. It is Dan Hooker. It's just because I really want to see Dan Hooker fight Justin Gaethje. I really want to see that fight rescheduled. So other than Dan Hooker, Charles Oliveira. So I think the UFC should put one of these fights together. Either way, it's an entertaining fight. Either way, Paddy's going up the rankings, hopefully. So we'll see how those fights play out. But either way, I'm looking forward to what Paddy does next. I mean, he's a great fighter, and he's proven that he belongs in the top 10 of the lightweight division. So yeah, whoever he fights next, I'll be looking forward to it, and I'll definitely be tuning in. That's all I really have to say about Paddy Pimblett in this video. I just want to talk about his possible matchups in the future and who he could possibly fight next. And overall, I feel like he definitely does belong in the top of the lightweight division. And will he beat the top 5? Does he belong in the top 5 now? That's something that we're just going to have to find out. I'll have to think about that more once he gets a fight scheduled and I can make a video about it. But for now, I'm happy he's on that come up. I'm very happy for him. He's one of my favourite fighters in the UFC right now. He's very entertaining, and he's proven time and time again that he belongs in the UFC. A lot of people counted him out, including myself at the start of his career, but I mean, he proved me wrong, which I'm very happy to see because I'm a fan of him. So I'm wishing him nothing but the best. And let me know what you think in the comments. Who you think Paddy should fight next, and if you think he is a future possible title contender, and if how you think he'll go against these top 5 elite lightweights in the division. So yeah, that's all for this video. I'll chat to you in the next one. See ya. Good luck.